I would like to mention that she has been elected the International President of Vishwa Sindhi Seva Sangam for 2022. So that's another feather in her cap. Apart, she's an advocate. I introduced her to you last time also. So she does a lot of activities, and now she's also taken up writing books. And apart from that, I had already sort of explained to you what she does. She's an honorary secretary of NCLT Advocates Bar Association. She's a practicing advocate, and she received the Corona Warrior Certificate from the Governor of Maharashtra recently. So there are a lot of things she does. She has her own feathers in her cap, and she's, of course, now the president of WGU and does a lot of activities herself, spearheading the organization. Gauri, please.
Thank you, Purobi. First of all, a very happy new year to all of you. As you all know, we have to go with the positive note. We have to all accept the challenges as they are coming, as the pandemic is a long way to go. So we are almost in the third phase now. But as you know, the Women Graduate Union, we have been active during the last year, and we did a lot of good activities. So we did have programs like we celebrated the Diwali function. We also, our program committee, they celebrated the Christmas party on the 17th of December. And as you know, the CCAC also, there were a number of sessions that our chairman Purobi was having, and I must really compliment her for that. And everybody is getting a lot of good knowledge on different subjects. So even for the other committees, like our hostel is running throughout during the pandemic. We have our residents staying there, our working women staying there. So we are always giving them very all safe atmosphere and taking care of the guidelines. Scholarship committee also, we did a very good job this time. And our chairman Havuvi also did all the best for a lot of women are benefited in that, and a good amount we have distributed to the women's for higher education. We also started online classes of study center as well as physical. We had started, but again we have stopped. Having a different way of education for Balwadi students, our teachers are making videos and sending them and asking their parents to show them whenever they have time. So we are trying to see that we touch on all our committees, and overall that our all we have given for a good cause to the BMC for vaccination center, where now even the teenagers have started taking the vaccines from 15 to 18. The booster dose has also started from yesterday. So the entire area of Kolaba, Cuff Parade and Churchgate and all people even sometimes from abroad are coming here and taking good of his use of it. So daily we have 300, 200, sometimes even 500 people. We have camps especially for the transgenders, the senior citizens. So that is a good cause. In parallelly we are doing, and we are not taking any rent from them. And we definitely the missing the hall because the auditorium we are not being able to use. But as it is, we are doing a lot of things online also, like as we are having today's program. So I must really compliment not only Purobi but all our entire managing committee and chairmen for having a wonderful last year 2021, and it was only with their support that we could even release a newsletter. And if anybody wants, we can send you all a copy of the newsletter which we have released it. A very warm welcome to you all for this today's program, and we have Dr. Sunita Mahajan. She is an expert and very highly qualified. And the topic chosen is really very good, the power of cryptocurrency and overview. So time has come that for the sake of safety, as you know, Purobi said there are advantages, disadvantages, especially when we are traveling and all other things, and even for share marketing and all that. And so many such cases where everybody prefers to have this cryptocurrency. And as digitalization is very much in the air, so most of us, we are going on with different way of living, like having online working, online such seminars, and digital branding. Everything is going. So there is a change in the entire global, uh, as well as we NGOs also now we have to go as per the new generation goes and with the competition. So let's see, and my best wishes to Dr. Sunita Mahajan. And I'm sure all of you all are going to enjoy it. And keep it up, Kurobi. We would like to have many more such programs today. And for all the viewers, once again, so nice of you all to come here. And Mumbai is having a wonderful weather. I'm sure all of you all are also safe at your places in different. I'm sure you all are from different places, have joined today from all over India, as well as all over the world, also different places. All our seniors who are attending, past presidents and the trustees, we all wish you all also all the best and nice of you all to come here. God bless you all. Over to Purobi.
Thank you, Gauri. As always, you speak very well. So let me just introduce Dr. Mahajan. I have already introduced her last time because she was the person who was the moderator. But I'll just add on to what I had told you about her. She has been very active in the computer education field, and she is really very good with computers. She worked as an acting principal of MCA course of Mumbai University at Institute of Computer Sciences, Mumbai Education Trust. She has taught operating systems, parallel processing, neutral network, distributed computing. She's written a book on distributed processing, which was a textbook for Mumbai University and Gujarat University. She has written about 50 technical papers, guided 20 MPhil students and 10 PhD students. Her current interests are in distributed computing, natural language processing, and data mining, apart from others. She is associated with other NGOs, but I'll not get into that. She's been with us now. She's been active with WGU for the last 2 years as a member of the managing committee, and she's now the convener of the Computers Committee of Women Graduates Union, which has also been taking classes for certain subjects, certain programs, certain applications, which is of course a different issue altogether. May I welcome Dr. Sunita Mahajan with her speech. I am sure it's going to be interesting.
Thank you, Purabi. It's such a nice introduction. Just that I am in the managing committee of WGU would have been sufficient. And most important, your friend. That you forgot to say.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, then. So I welcome everybody who has forgone evening activities just to be with me and to listen to whatever I have to say. There is one motto since my BRC days. If anyone is ready to listen, I am ready to talk. So with that motto, let me go ahead and take you to the exciting world of cryptocurrencies, that is virtual currencies. Last year, I had taken with Purabi, there was a course which says what was net banking and all those Google Pay and everything. That was also digital entering or e-commerce and e-banking, where we would do all the banking operations without resorting to actual cash. Now this is one step ahead. It is the cash is not there. It is a digital cash. So regarding power of cryptocurrency and overview. So I called it cryptocurrencies because I'll be talking about other cryptocurrencies also. And this beautiful golden coin that we see here is called a Bitcoin. So let us go ahead. My plan will cover the evolution of currency, a brief history of Bitcoin creation, blockchain, ledgers, cryptocurrency execution, different cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin mining, state of Bitcoin transactions using blockchain, and how to buy Bitcoins. Because I thought this is just an introduction, as I said, to the exciting world of Bitcoins. It was started in 2009 and now you will see how it has prospered. But let me go to the bit of currency evolution, the history of it. In Vedic times, the idea of selling and buying came through the barter system. And the wealth of a person was known by the number of cows he has, number of animals he has, and how much is his farm produce, etc. Suppose at that time a person had a sack of rice and he wants to have a sack of wheat, then he would find out somebody who wants a sack of wheat, who has a sack of wheat but wants rice, and both can do the exchange. This is called the barter system. It prospered quite a lot, and without any monetary intervention or without money was not invented at that time. It went on smoothly. But what happened is that time people had lot of time at their hands to search. As things progressed, mankind did more progress, and people didn't have that much of time. So how to find out the correct purchaser? Because he will come to me and ask, do you want rice? No. Do you have a bag of wheat? Yes, but I don't want your rice. So like that, he would go on and find out. That is why somebody thought that let us exchange pieces of metal like gold, silver with the goods to be purchased. So it doesn't matter whether you had a bag of rice or not. You should have gold coins or silver coins or copper coins. All of us are used to this quite a lot because we are still using silver and copper coins, rarely, and so different metals were used to pay the goods. That time, people and merchants were going from place to place, village to village, and mainly it was covered with villages and lot of trees, etc. Everything was there. So it was not very safe for them to travel. So what he would do, a merchant would collect all the gold he had to do the purchases in the next village and walk through the jungle. Sometimes dacoits will come and take it from him. So what he wanted to do now, how can I save my gold? Then they decided that in this native city, let us find somebody who is prepared to keep the gold and give it back to him when he comes. So it started with small pieces of paper saying that, give me 20 pieces of gold when I come back. Later on, that evolved into the paper currency, into the notes that we are used to and we are still using it. So the government started thinking that why not enter into this business? This is quite good. And government started printing the money, paper money, and banks were created to control the currency. So if you see a 10 rupee note, you will find that it is saying that the one who produces this note will be getting 10 rupee, 1 rupee coins. So the notes can be encashed into metal coins. And this was followed by the gold standard. So gold, whatever gold the government had, it printed notes only equal to the value of gold owned by the government. But then what happened? This went on very smoothly. But during World Wars, government required money, more money to buy more equipment, more this items and all. So money was required and he printed more notes regardless of the amount of gold reserve. This led to currency inflation and there was an imbalance. At that time, what happened is some people started noticing that there is an imbalance, we must shift from this currency. I would reiterate, the government controls all the currencies, dollar, that is America, yen, rupee, euro, pound, ruble, and so on. All the currencies are controlled by the government and there is a bank which controls that. And because of pandemic and because of other improvements in networking, computers, we came to cashless transactions. So banks were doing currency operations online. So these led to cashless transactions. We didn't have to produce cash. Even the bhajiwala or any vendor who comes to the door, he was ready to use Google Pay or Paytm and give us the goods. So that proved very nicely, especially during pandemic. We didn't have to go and get cash from the bank. We could do it online, and both of us were happy. The vendor was happy and I was also happy that I didn't have to go out of the house. The different methods were there, like net banking. And in the end, we could always get cash in the form of currency notes, 200 rupee notes, 500 rupee notes, whatever the government started printing, we were dependent on that and the Reserve Bank. So we could get the money at ATM or the bank counter. Now what happened in 2008, there was a great recession. Many banks, and it started worldwide from USA. Many banks closed down. Many persons went bankrupt. The economy almost collapsed. So that time, some people started thinking about some type of digital currency without third-party control, especially without government control. That's what they wanted. And in 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto wrote a white paper and introduced digital currency, two concepts, digital currency Bitcoin and blockchain as new storage technique. Blockchain was the storage technique and Bitcoin was the digital currency. Digital means it doesn't have form. It is totally stored in the form of 0 and 1, 0 and 1, and somewhere in some computer that coin is stored. It is the name of the digital currency coined by Satoshi Nakamoto. Now this name Satoshi Nakamoto has a mysterious aura around him. Nobody knows whether he is one person, he is a Japanese person, or he is a group of people, or it is a combination of four companies like Motorola and others. So still, nobody has seen him. He wrote the paper, but it was never presented. But people picked up that Bitcoin because it proved to be so convenient for working. So thus the entry Bitcoin was entered into our knowledge and so we can work on this, and it is a virtual currency. So people started using it. Let us see what is happening. Especially youngsters started it. Now, what is cryptocurrency? Cryptocurrency means digital currency, and Bitcoin is one of them, which is very popular. It is joining two words, crypto and currency. So cryptography means encryption, decryption. Do you know when we were young girls, we used to talk using Ch language. Ch language means if I say, Mala Pandu avadto, this the elder should not know that I like Pandu. So I would say, Chala ma, Chandu pa, Chavarto a. Means the grown-ups will not know what I'm saying, but my friend would understand. So that was the first stage of cryptography and encryption. It means storing intelligible text in unintelligible manner and restoring it back at the receiving end. So how it is working, we'll see more and more about it in the whole lecture. Let us say a person A sends data to person B in the form of a string of digits 1, 2, 3, 4. Now person C is trying to read what A is sending to B, but A and B both don't want him to read it. So what do? See, here is A, here is B, and here is C, quite worried. So A sends 1, 2, 3, 4, but he doesn't send it in this form. He adds 1 to each digit and he sends the string of digits 2, 3, 4, 5. B knows that this is not the correct one, this is encrypted. So he decrypts it by subtracting 1 from each digit and he gets the correct value 1, 2, 3, 4. So this subtracting 1 from each digit at B end and adding 1 to each digit at A end, that is called the key, and it is a symmetric key. This is the simplest form. More complicated becomes there are two keys, public key and private key. Because A wants to send information to B, how will he send private key to B? So he will send only public key to B. He will encrypt the information using his private key. It will go to B. B will use he will decrypt it using public key, and then his private key when he wants to send information. He will use his private key, which A will decrypt by using the public key. So this way, the whole information would work. So instead of going deep into this, because this is not a computer class, so I would say that the information is transferred through encryption and it is decrypted before the correct information is received. If you have seen a note at WhatsApp, which we use quite often, they will say that your messages have been encrypted. That means we are sure that if I want to say hello, that hello will not be deciphered or will not be caught by a pilferer somewhere in the way. Now, just because it is an overview, let us see the advantages and disadvantages. Advantages is that for cryptocurrency, there is no bank necessary to carry out the transaction. Here the person was sending, A was sending to B. There is no bank involved. Directly the information will go, and this could be the number of bitcoins that he is getting. So no bank is necessary to carry out the transaction. There is no geographical barrier. Now with the proper currencies, dollars, rupees, yen, or whatever, we know that at the entrance of a new country, we have to get it exchanged. Some amount of money will go for the exchange. It is the geographical barriers are very much inherent for the proper paper currency or proper currency. But for digital currency, the barriers are not there. After all, it is a group of 0 and 1. So you don't have to convert Bitcoin in India to Bitcoin in USA. The same Bitcoin will work there. The transactions are cheaper and the transfer is very fast. It will go from minutes, from seconds to minutes maximum. So Bitcoins became very popular because they said it is one-to-one correspondence. I am sending information to you, you are getting the information. There is nobody else is involved. But this is a transaction. They are irreversible. Irreversible means, suppose here you are sending 1, 2, 3, 4. By chance, I say 1, 2, 4, 6. Then that transaction will be going as 1, 2, 4, 6. I cannot get it back to the former state of 1, 2, 3, 4. So transactions are irreversible. And this is a big drawback because mistakes are quite common, especially with human beings. If you are sleepy or something else, the mistakes happen, but they can't be changed because nobody knows what is the correct one. There is no bank here. So if bank was involved, we could have said, bank, look, cancel this transaction, take this is the correct transaction I am sending. That can be done here. And the same point that there is no control, there is no government controlling this virtual currency, it can be used for illegal activities. So dark web, there is a part of the web that we don't know, that is called a dark web because it is suitable for black money transactions since no government is involved, and we have to be aware of this, that if you want to buy or sell Bitcoins, you must be making sure that the transactions are correct and it will not be used for any illegal activities. Or when you are buying some Bitcoins, that they are not illegal. That care you have to take. Otherwise, the transaction is very secure. We'll see later how secure it is. So what do? You store transaction in a block. What is a block? Block is a database. Because how will you store this transaction? You have to store it in a database. And how the security is maintained? We generate a hash symbol. This symbol, a hash symbol, means it is a secret word which is generated from the information stored in a block. Normally, how a fraud in currency is done, that you either change the amount in the check or whatever, you can take it in the middle and easy in real currency, but it is really difficult in cryptocurrencies. Let us see why it is so difficult in cryptocurrency. That you have to store transactions in a block, we have to generate a hash function, and we have to chain to the previous block by storing the previous hash in the new block. I will explain in the next slide how it is. If a middle block is removed, the hash function changes. Hence, it is easy to detect any fraud. Hence, we say Bitcoin transactions are more secure. See here. So, let me talk about blockchain technology. Again, these are two words, block and chain. So, here is one block where we put transaction, one transaction, second, third, fourth, till the whole block is full. You can't have more transactions. Then we generate a hash function. We add all the bits together. And we prepare number will be obtained that will be called hash. And then we'll start a new block. And in that new block, the first information will be the hash of the previous block. And these are chained together. So when this block is full, we go to the second one, and from second we go to the third one. So the hash of the second block is stored in the third block. So it goes on like this. So when the information is there, thus everything is linked together. Now what the hacker will try to do, he will try to remove the middle block. Let us say he is removing the middle block. And so now this will be chained to this. But this hash will not tally with the hash which is stored here. So this hash was linked to this, and immediately the fraud can be detected. That is why when I said in the previous one that it is easy to detect any fraud and the transactions are more secure. Now let me give you what are different cryptocurrencies. Bitcoin is the first cryptocurrency that was in 2009. Then came Ethereum. It is a good choice. Ethereum or Bitcoin, both are popular. And this BTC and ETH are platforms which are storing they are the blockchains. So this is, we have to know in what name they are going. So it is a good choice. This performs better. The blockchain of Ethereum performs in a better fashion. Then we have Beyonce coin, that is BNB is its platform. BitGuard, BRISE, this is also the youngest cryptocurrency. So many people are having different cryptocurrencies, and these are a few ones which are more popular. Centex, if you see here, this is Ethereum, this is Bitcoin, this is Ripple, and these are other Bitcoins, or these are other cryptocurrencies that are used. Now, if you want to deal in cryptocurrencies, which one will you use? So best will be to focus on Bitcoin because that is more popular and more sturdy. So there are Bitcoin miners are there. Now where will you store the transaction? In the normal one, we store the transaction in a database, and that is different. Here there is no bank. Here our normal currency transactions are stored in the bank's ledger, and information is there from main branch to small sub branches everywhere. Somewhere the information is stored in ledgers, and we could get information from that. But for a transaction of Bitcoin, that is a virtual currency, this facility is not available. So there are somebody called miners, which are nodes. Somebody has to verify the transaction, whether it is correct or not. They are called miners, and they verify the transactions. Now, another currency is paper coins, paper notes. Any amount of currency notes can be printed. You don't know how many 200 rupee notes are in circulation, how many 2000 rupee notes are in circulation. Only when Modi ji says that this 2000 rupee notes will be discontinued, then we realize that there are lots of notes of 2000 rupees. So nobody knows about that. But Bitcoin is not like that. There will be in the world only 2 million Bitcoins. After that, there will be no more Bitcoins. Is it a bit strange? Isn't it similar to gold? Gold increases only when you mine it. And gold is a limited quantity. That is why the price of gold does not rise high and low. So it is similar to gold. So number of Bitcoins are 21 million only. And out of that, 18.5 million Bitcoins are already generated. So after 21 million Bitcoins are generated, Bitcoins will not be there. Now, what is the price of a Bitcoin? It costs $64,000 now. That is rupees 45 lakhs. But how you want to buy a Bitcoin? You can't afford to give 45 lakhs. You can purchase a minimal part of Bitcoin as low as 100. So maybe 1 millionth part of a Bitcoin also can be purchased. This is something new. That is because it is a virtual currency, we can do that. And where is it stored? It is stored in blockchain, and the transactions here are stored in a distributed ledger. What is a distributed ledger? It is a set of nodes which are interconnected. And the transactions cannot be changed, cannot be reversed. To generate hash function, the miners require supercomputing powers. So miners are nodes that are having supercomputing powers. Here I have tried to draw that. This is a set of nodes connected together. These are miners. Each transaction, they will go and find out whether it is right or wrong. So they will try to generate the hash functions. And only if 51% of miners say that this transaction is correct, we can take it that the transaction is okay, and that will be stored in a block. See now, A is sending information to B. Sending, let us say, 10 Bitcoins to B. This is a transaction. How do you know that it is correct? How do you know it is not 9 Bitcoins or 8 Bitcoins? Because it is broadcast to all these nodes. All the nodes will try to generate the hash function. If it tallies, and to make it more complicated, the first 2 bits of the hash function are 0. They are called nonces. Nonce. So this is how they are generated, and they are stored here. Only when miners say it is okay, then validated, that transaction is taken. So the miners must be paid because they won't do it free. So they get some Bitcoins paid for this. Now these Bitcoins go on decreasing after every 4 transactions. So there will come a time when there will be no Bitcoins to be paid to the miners. So in the currency transaction, bank is the intermediary who can say the transaction is correct. In Bitcoin, there is no intermediary. So miners deal with Bitcoins, Ethereum, and similar digital currencies. So here, these Bitcoins, so many digital currencies are there, and Ethereum has one set of blockchain techniques. BTC is another blockchain technique. BNB is one more. So how they perform, that depends on whether the cryptocurrency is easy to use or not. Right now, of course, we are following only Bitcoins. And the technique for Bitcoin, Ethereum is same. So I am referring only to the Bitcoins. Now, how will you validate a transaction? Each transaction is transferred to all the nodes. Suppose a person A has sent 100 Bitcoins to person B. Has B received it? Is it really 100 or 101? So each transaction is sent to all the minor nodes. And if just 51% of the nodes agree that the transaction is correct, it is stored in the block. When that block is full, a new block is opened, but a hash function is generated and stored in the new block, which forms the link, next link. So this is necessary to ensure that the transaction is correct. Now, how does the currency transaction works? I'm putting more time on this because it is a virtual currency. So we must make sure that just like actual currency, these currencies are also correct, because lot of money is being transferred via bitcoins. People become millionaires. Now, let me come back to real currency. Suppose person A transfers rupees 2000 to person B through net banking. This transaction is stored in bank's ledger. So what is that? There are three parts. Transfer rupees 2000 from account A to account B. You can check it. You will get all the messages like that. Account A is debited rupees 2000 and account B is credited rupees 2000. So total three transactions. So they go to the block as such after the miners verify that the transaction is correct. So in Bitcoins, there is no intermediary, but the three transactions are same. They are stored in a block. They are verified by miners connected all over the world using supercomputing powers. Because it is a complicated amount that is being used, the numbers that are using for storing Bitcoins are they are 256-bit numbers and they are very complicated. And to generate a hash function, you require a lot of computing power. It is a match puzzle that is solved by the miners. And the validated transactions are in the blocks chained together, and Bitcoins are stored in distributed ledgers. We call it distributed ledger because here I showed you a network of miners. So the ledgers are in all these nodes. So that is why the concept of distributed ledgers came into picture. And for each transaction, miners are paid in Bitcoins. So what is blockchain technology? This is going to be the technology of future for saving information in a most secure way. You need not save only this. You can save any information. I heard a news that Modi ji gave digital degrees to IIT graduates which were stored in a blockchain because they were all virtual. The real degrees were not given. So blockchains contain blocks which are connected by a chain, and as soon as the transaction in Bitcoin takes place, it is stored in a block. When the block is full, hash function is generated by using encryption algorithm. Then another block is started, hash function from previous block is stored in a new block. Both blocks are chained together. Thus, a blockchain is generated with all blocks having hash of the previous block, and this cannot be hacked. As any block is removed, the hash function of the next block will change, error will be detected. This is the key to storing secure information. Now, how will you buy Bitcoins? There are companies like Coins, DCX, Go, Gemini, XRP, BTH. So like stock exchange, they allow you to buy and sell Bitcoins. Now, why do you want to sell Bitcoins? Because you cannot buy goods directly from Bitcoins. They are legal, but it is not a legal tender. You can't use them to buy. So what you can do, you can buy and sell Bitcoin. That's all. You can save it like a gold. See, now if you buy some 10 milligrams of gold or 10 grams of gold coin, will you be able to give it to vendor and say that give me vegetables of 100 rupees and give me the remaining in cash? No. So gold will be gold. You can buy gold, you can sell gold. So like that, Bitcoins also you can buy or sell like this. They are volatile. In December 2017, suppose it was $19,000. In March 2020, $4,000. It came down. Then it became $42,000. Now it is $32,000. And today I was talking to my grandson. He is also using Bitcoins to become rich. Why? I said, why are you using Bitcoins? He's just a boy who has started his job in Microsoft. So very young, but still he's spending his money into buying Bitcoins. He says because his 4 friends became millionaires. but it is so volatile that yesterday it was $52,000, today it is $40,000, the cost of one Bitcoin. Imagine when the Bitcoins are fluctuating so much, how do you depend on that? So you can invest on the funds that you can spare. Just like inventing in a lottery. See, if you are investing in a lottery, you don't buy much, no, 100 rupee lottery or 200 rupee, that is sufficient. And there are some platforms that deal with cryptocurrency, and they've made it so easy as buying and selling shares. So these are the numbers: Coin, DCX, Go, Gemini, XRP, BTH, ETH. And you know who are usually buying? Young children like my grandson. They get enamored by this. They say, okay, I can become a millionaire. But they should not use much of their funds into this. And seniors like me, we should also not invest in this, because if suddenly the money loses, we'll get a shock. So it is better that we remain stable. Let the Bitcoins be bought by some youngsters, middle-aged people, and they have funds which they can invest in buying and selling. But consult experts before you enter a Bitcoin market. Now, these are some stories. When the Bitcoin was introduced, the cost was negligible. You know, pizza story in 2000, I made a mistake. It is a 0 here.
It's okay. It's okay.
It's okay?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, then I'll go ahead.
Yeah, don't break the chain. The lecture is very good. Don't break the chain.
You know what happens? Whatever you try, we are human beings, so we make some mistake or other.
That's all right.
2010, one Mr. Largio Hannes in Papageno bought 2 pizzas. So they bought 2 pizzas. They cost 10,000 bitcoins. So he got 10,000 bitcoins. He gave that to and bought 2 pizzas. In 2019, in 2010, it was very cheap, because 2009 it started. So it was very cheap and it cost 10,000 bitcoins. Imagine in 2019, the Bitcoin cost $64,000. So cost of 2 pizzas became so high. Similarly, in 2009, an Indian bought a ring. This is even better. Bought a ring for his fiancée. The lady jilted him. So he got depressed and he sold the ring to another person for 20,000 bitcoins. Now he got slight compensation by that girl who jilted him. He is a multi-billionaire because the cost rose from some $4 to quite a lot, 64,000 bitcoins, $64,000. So in 2010, Bitcoin cost ₹2. Now it is 24 lakhs. So 1 millionth part of a Bitcoin also can be bought. Now this is another story of Elon Musk. All of you must be knowing that Tesla car is an electric car, and Elon Musk is very rich. So he announced that he will accept Bitcoin to purchase goods from his store. Immediately the Bitcoin value rose very steeply. Then he got worried. He said, I will not accept Bitcoin for purchases. Immediately Bitcoin value showed a steep decline. So here I have given you 3 stories how Bitcoin value changes and how you can become a millionaire, but at the same time you can lose your money also. So in summary, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Ripple, etc. are digital currencies. They deal with person-to-person communications. They are legal in India, but not a legal tender. Means they can't buy things with that, but I hope that things are changing and Government of India is thinking of making them legal tenders also. So there are a limited number of Bitcoins, maximum 21 millions, but till today, 18.9 million Bitcoins are existing. So you can imagine there will be only 2 million Bitcoins that you can generate. Now, blockchain is another technology that offers secure storage technology. So it is a very popular technique, and it will rise in future as technique that does not allow hacking. So any secure or any information that has to be saved and kept securely will be using blockchain technique. So Bitcoin and blockchain may be the main techniques of the future. Now, I have got two videos. So this lady is a CA.
So let's understand what is the meaning of cryptocurrency in the most simplified manner. So cryptocurrency is divided into two parts. One is cryptography and one is currency. First, let's try to understand what is cryptography. Cryptography is associated with the
Can you hear
process
this
of
now?
converting
Yes.
to unintelligible text and vice versa. Unintelligible matlab which can't be understood. So it's the process of converting plain text into text which can't be easily understood. Okay, it is a method of storing and transmitting data in a particular form so that only those for whom it is intended can read and process it. Okay, see, the moment when you read this, that it is done in a particular way so that only that person to whom it is intended can read and understand it. Remember the movie Razi, in which Alia Bhatt used to make certain noises like this, okay, from Pakistan, and then in India there is a person who is listening to this voice, and then he understands, oh, she's communicating this to me. Okay, now anyone else on earth, if he would have heard that noise, he would not have understood that. But the sender knows what he means to say, and the receiver also knows what he or she needs to understand from it. That is actually cryptography. Okay, now let's understand the combined term, what is cryptocurrency. Cryptocurrency, in simple words, is nothing but digital form of cash. Okay, now let's take this example. Here we have a, let us say any person A, and here we have A is in India, and there is one more person B who is from USA. Now if A wants to send dollars to B in USA, can that person directly send dollars? No, he or she will have to first go to a bank. Okay, then bank is a third party who is involved, who will actually convert the rupees into dollars and then verify who is the sender, okay, who is the receiver, okay, will match certain things, will charge some money and then transfer the funds to B. Okay, so this transaction was possible only with the help of an intermediary, which was the bank here. Now let's try to understand if there was something like a digital form of currency which knows no barriers, पंछी नदियाँ पवन के झोंके कोई सरहद ना इन्हें रोके, something like that, a currency जिसको सरहद ना रोके. It's nothing but a digital form of cash, right? So what could have happened, that Mr. A could have directly sent funds to B without any third party, and that is an example of cryptocurrency. So what are the advantages? No intermediary required, number one. Number two, no geographical barrier. Number three, because there is no intermediary as such, charges are also very less. Who is going to charge what? That we are going to cover in the subsequent part of the video, but charges are going to be very less. And number four, it's very fast. On an average, of course, different cryptocurrencies will have different timings, but it ranges as low as 4 seconds to as high for popular coins like 10 minutes. Okay, these are the advantages. What are the disadvantages then? Number one disadvantage is that if a wrong transfer is made, okay, then this person A cannot ask for the money back. Why? I'll tell you. Because let us say the account to whom the money was to be transferred was account number 645, and by mistake the person said 654. Now he does not know who is 654. That person does not know who is 654. No one knows who is 654. So once money is gone, you can't get it back if it is a wrong transfer. This could have happened if bank was there in between, because bank knows who is 654, right? That is a disadvantage, number one. And number two, because the senders and the receivers identity is not unveiled, unfortunately it is used for a lot of illegal activities through internet, which is many a times a part of internet which is known as dark web. But if you want to know more about this, what technology is used behind all these things, we're going to cover that in the next part of the video. Well, now let's understand whether cryptocurrency is really legal or illegal. There are two different things. One, cryptocurrency being legal, and one, cryptocurrency being allowed as a legal tender in India. Let's tackle both the problems. Number one, is it legal? Answer is yes. Why? On 6th April 2018, RBI imposed a banking ban on Indian banks to have a relationship with crypto companies. But the same banking ban was lifted in 2018 by a Supreme Court decision, and because of which the Indian banks were allowed to have business relationships and banking services with an exchange. So what's the conclusion? Trading in cryptocurrencies as on date is absolutely legal. Then what is the problem? Problem is that cryptocurrency is still an illegal tender of money. Means what? Tomorrow if I want to go to a shop and buy a refrigerator, I go to the shop, I tell the shopkeeper, okay, give me this refrigerator, and I'll say that, okay, I'll give you some XYZ amount of bitcoins in return, or XYZ some other cryptocurrency in return. Is that allowed? No, it's not a legal tender. I will have to pay in INR, I'll have to pay in Indian rupees. But then you will say, but illegal, na? Khatam. No, wait. You can compare it with something like this. Even if I go to the same shop, I tell that, okay, pack that fridge for me, and I say, I don't have rupees right now. Do one thing, I'll give you 10 Reliance Industries stocks in return. Is that allowed? No, because even stocks are not a legal tender. I hope you have understood the difference between cryptocurrency being legal and cryptocurrency not being allowed as a legal tender in India. Now let's try and understand what is a blockchain. In simple words, blockchain is nothing but comprised of two words, and one is block and the another one is chain, right? Now what's a block? Block is nothing but a database which stores a lot of information. What kind of information? Now let's take the original example that A was sending some cryptocurrency to B. Okay. Now what will that block store? Block will store information like who is the sender, who is the receiver, when was the money sent, and so much more information will be stored in that block, right? Now one more transaction takes place. Let's say X sends another cryptocurrency to Y. Now again that information will be stored in this block, that who sent to whom at what, whatever. Then M sends to N, A sends to X, whatever. So much information goes on filling in this block. Okay, now this block is full. Another block comes into picture now. Okay, but when this block starts, it will point out to the last transaction. Actually, there are concepts like hash rate or hashing. We are not going to go into details of that. Let's try and understand the essence of what is a blockchain, right? So the second block basically will just point out to the last transaction there, that we are carrying forward, we are continuing basically from here, right? Again this block will start filling up with a lot of information, correct? Once this block is filled, let's say now the third block starts, but third block will also again point out to the last transaction of the second block. Now all these blocks will be linked, will be tied together with the help of a chain, and that is why this is called as a blockchain. Now the big question, if I were to delete the data from one of the blocks, is that possible? No. Why? Because the third block was pointing out to the end of the second block. If that second block goes away, it will be clearly understood that something is missing. So this cannot happen, and that is why it is said that blockchain is immutable. Now let's try and understand what is Bitcoin. Well, Bitcoin is nothing but a type of cryptocurrency. Bitcoin was founded in 2008 and it was launched in 2009 by Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto. Like, I'm sure no one knows who Binod is. Similarly, no one knows who Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto is. Well, what is the advantage? I'll tell you. I can just compare it something like this, that we have promoters for a company. Similarly, the promoter of this Bitcoin is like Mr. Satoshi Nakamoto. Now you can imagine that if something happens to the promoter of the company, then what will happen to the share prices of that company? They are going to go down drastically. Similarly, if something happens to Mr. Satoshi, then what? But we don't know whether he's alive or not also. So that danger is anyways away, right? Today, Bitcoin is one of the most popular coins among the cryptocurrency spaces all over the world. Wondering how a Bitcoin looks like? That's how it looks like. Okay, I'll just show it to you. 1 minute. Well, it can't be held physically in your hand. Why? It's a digital currency. Well, I hope you have understood what is Bitcoin very nicely. Now, one or two more fun facts about Bitcoin. What do you think? How is the supply of Indian rupee? Is it limited or unlimited? Correct answer is it's unlimited. Whenever government wants, it can print more and more Indian rupees. What about Bitcoins? Is the supply limited or unlimited? The supply is limited. There are exactly 21 million Bitcoin all over the world. Okay, but out of that, in circulation, there are 18.6 million approximately Bitcoins which are in circulation right now. Now let us move on with how a Bitcoin transaction actually takes place, right? So let us say our old example where A transfers Bitcoins to B. That's where a new transaction will be entered. Now what happens? This transaction will have to be verified by someone. Like you remember the bank example, if A sends money to B, then there'll be a bank in between. That bank will verify this transaction. But in Bitcoins, in crypto, do we have any intermediary? No, no intermediary is there. Then who will verify this transaction? Now you can imagine there are thousands of people all over the world who are there, who are wanting to verify this transaction. These people are called as miners. Okay, now what happens is that whenever A person sends Bitcoin to B, no one will say that in plain English. That will be written in some cryptic language. Okay, now you can imagine this is like some mathematical problem which someone can see something like that. Okay, now these miners who are all over the world, thousands of people who are all over the world, they will try to solve this maths problem. Okay, when this now big question, how will they solve this? Using pen and paper? No. Using a normal laptop? No. All these are very high very powerful computers that they'll require. Supercomputers, very high computing power computers will be required to actually solve these mathematical problems. Now once they solve this problem, what will happen is they will have to get something in return as a reward. That is where we say that they are mining the Bitcoin. Okay, so in simple words, someone is verifying the transaction. Oh, free of cost karega kya? Nahi, some reward will have to be given to that person, and that reward is in the nature of giving him more Bitcoins. But these Bitcoins are mined. No one will transfer Bitcoin to them as such, right? Now the big question, should one invest or not? Wait, first you have to understand how volatile Bitcoin has been in the past and also in the present. Just to give you few stats, in December 2017, it had touched the then high around $19,000 for one Bitcoin. Then it went down and down and down, entered into a bear market, and it touched a low of almost $4,000 per Bitcoin in March 2020. And since then, like stocks have rallied like anything, even Bitcoin rallied a long way to, believe it or not, roughly $42,000 per Bitcoin. Currently, as I'm shooting the video, the Bitcoin is trading around $36,000 for one Bitcoin. So I hope by now you might have understood that it is a very volatile cryptocurrency. Now the big question, that are you spelling it properly? Are you saying it properly? $36,000 for one Bitcoin. How on earth will I be able to invest even for one Bitcoin? It is possible. Wait, you need not buy one Bitcoin. Can you buy it in fractions? Yes. So for example, can you buy 0.1 share of Reliance Industries? No, you can't. But can you buy 0.1 Bitcoin? Answer is yes. So buying in fractions is allowed. Okay, wait. But then the big question is that whether I should buy Bitcoin or Ethereum or any other cryptocurrency for that matter, out of all these, which should I choose? I think that, like I say in stock market, don't go for small caps, go for large caps, which are comparatively known, which have a proven track record. Similarly, if I'm talking about cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency which has the largest market cap, and alone Bitcoin has more than 65% of the total market capitalization of all cryptocurrencies put together. But then if you ask me my personal opinion, I would want to invest a small amount of money, which I always call as a party fund. That will depend on everyone's risk appetite. So for me, it can be 5,000 rupees. For you, it can be 10,000. For someone else, it could be 500 rupees also. So that depends on how much risk you are ready to take. That can be a small amount with which you may start your journey in investing in cryptocurrencies. I would like to thank CoinDCX for helping me to make this video about cryptocurrencies. If you are in India and if you want to invest in cryptocurrencies, then you can surely check out their app, which is CoinDCX Go by CoinDCX, which is India's largest and safest cryptocurrency exchange. Well, if you want to still learn more about cryptocurrencies, they have a free learning platform, which is DCX Learn. If you are a beginner in cryptocurrencies and if you want to try, then you can surely check out their app, which is CoinDCX Go app, which makes investing easy, quick, and seamless using Indian rupees. To download the CoinDCX Go app, follow the link in the pinned comment. And if you're a pro, then you can surely check out Coin DCX, which is helpful for investing in more complicated products like margin trading, futures, contracts, lending, staking, etc. Well, few key features of Coin DCX app are instant order settlement, high liquidity, low risk. Why? Because you can start investing with as low as 10 rupees and you can start depositing with as low as 100 rupees. Its KYC is fast and safe because it is AI enabled. It has multiple layers of security to ensure fund safety, and it is also backed by BitGo custodian. Now, the grand finale question: where do you store these cryptocurrencies? Possibility number one, you can store it with the exchange, wherein you can also earn some interest on that. Possibility number two, you can store them in hardware wallets. They look something like this, like a pen drive, but this is password protected. There's an amazing fun fact that there is a US programmer who has actually forgotten his password to his hardware wallet, and he has only 2 attempts left to access his $300 million Bitcoin fortune. I hope you have understood and enjoyed this small session on cryptocurrencies.
So I'll put the last slide. I mean, this is Tanmay Bhatt. If you put in the YouTube Tanmay Bhatt, you will find this and many more videos. So thank you. And it is free for question answer. So
Yeah.
all information is available on YouTube and internet.
Madam, can I ask you one question?
Yeah, sure.
I'm Lalita Dhareshwar, immediate past president of Indian Women Scientists Association. Now I'm
Yes,
involved
madam.
in that. Yeah. Madam Sunita Mahajan, madam, I want to ask you one thing. Like, suppose I have the Bitcoins, let us say now. I want to sell it. I mean, do I get back currency in rupees? And where
Yeah.
does that currency get stored back?
It's that Coin DCX and all those companies are there. No? They will
Uh-huh.
sell and give you. You open, I saw that one in Gemini. You
Huh.
open an account and like stock exchange, you buy and sell it.
Okay. And then you can take from them in actual rupees, is it?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, you
But
can
depending
withdraw.
on the current value of Bitcoin, supposing
Yeah,
it has
that's
risen,
okay.
you get more. Supposing it has fallen, you get less.
That's true. Yeah. Then the other question is about this hash function. I did not understand. What is that hash function?
You know, it is stored in a group of zeros and ones.
Okay.
Suppose it is a 80-bit number. We
Okay.
break it into 10 parts. So it is each part contains 8 bits.
Okay.
You add them all together.
Hmm.
And then you get some set of zeros and ones. That is the hash function.
Okay.
And that you have to generate again and again so that the first two are zeros. They are called nonces. So you have to use different techniques and generate those functions.
Yeah. So these miners must be really
Minus
geniuses.
means the
Computer
nodes
geniuses.
having supercomputers.
Too
Genius
much of computing is there.
Yeah.
And that is why it is all distributed ledger. They
Oh,
call it because it is
They are completely software driven. They are all
Yeah.
application driven.
yeah.
But I'm Rashmi Rastogi. But why should you invest in Bitcoin?
yeah.
I know people becoming millionaires and then becoming paupers.
That's
Right.
the question I asked my grandson.
Share market is much easier and better where you can
Yeah.
make money. Yeah.
Maybe if you have to be constantly on the lookout, and as soon as it increases by maybe 20%, 25%, you just dump and sell the Bitcoins. Maybe that is.
It is
only
more
way.
like daily trading in the stock
Yes.
market.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Very, very bad for your health, I think.
Yeah.
So
So
I told
it is about mindset. You know, people who are interested in doing these things, they will do it. And whoever has got liquid money will definitely trade in Bitcoin.
Yeah. It's meant for very young people. Yeah, young people.
I have
that
just
is what I said. No, I asked my grandson why does he want to trade in bitcoins. He says his friends become millionaire. He wants to become a millionaire.
and I
Imagine
have a
at the age of
request.
22,
I
he wants
have
to
a
become.
request from the WGO office. If all of you can unmute yourselves and the video, they will take screenshots. So
Yeah.
kindly
So
come on the
everybody
screen
should
live.
start their videos so that the screenshot can be taken.
Dr. Mahajan, I just want to congratulate you. You've been wonderful. And I'm really impressed with the ease with which you explain the concept. Kudos
you.
to you.
Very,
Yeah.
very good presentation.
Yes, very
Very
Thank
good.
good.
you.
Congratulations.
You made it very simple. So that is the main thing, you know.
It was
Yeah.
very easy to understand, Ms. Mahajan.
Lots
It
to
was really,
learn.
really
Mahajan, lots to learn. We all learned a lot.
Mm.
See, the most important things about cryptocurrency is it is the in thing and it is going to explode in the next 20 years. So
Mm.
it is very important for you to know about cryptocurrency. A lot of organizations will start dealing with it. So once the problems get streamlined and they are, sort of evened out, it's something that we need to know because this is going to slowly come up. It's already coming up. The governments have started putting their regulations in place. So this needs to be understood. It's a very novel concept and very subtle and very low profile. So
I
unless
hope I have been able to give you a
yes,
glimpse
you
of
have,
the
you
thing.
have.
No, Bitcoins always suffered from that halo or whatever, you know, that it is illegal and it is having the
No,
dark.
that's what I said. It's
Ah.
very low profile, because
Yes.
it's low profile. It is also it deals with the dark web. So
Hmm.
people are very concerned about the Bitcoin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Anyway, is there anything else that people would like to ask, or should I ask Merlin to come?
The
There are a
amount,
lot of
So
new
probably it's very
platforms coming up.
volatile. So that's also very dangerous.
the maximum limit of Bitcoin is there. You cannot go beyond that.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know,
No, she's saying it's volatile. Yes, every market which is open is volatile. It's a buyer's market and a seller's market. No, so it will be volatile.
Yeah, but this is rising and falling too much. I mean,
Too
from
much.
$4,000 to $32,000.
No, that is because there are anyways. I think that is
because the
more of
quantity is limited.
the
Mm.
more
Once you
of
have
the
Bitcoin-
dark. See, there's a lot of dealings here which are not known. They are not above board. So that is how this goes up and down. Anybody else has got any questions?
No, that's it. There's a phobia of uncertainty linked with this
No,
current.
that is with stocks also, no?
Yes.
Stocks and shares, you have to understand the market before
Perhaps
you invest in anything.
I
But
think
that
time
is-
will show all the
That
difference.
is much more safer.
Bitcoins is also like that. Bitcoins, only thing is Bitcoins being very low profile, you have to access, and it's because it's a new generation introduction, it will be all digitized. You won't have anything on paper. So you'll have to go on this on net, you'll have to surf, you'll have to go to YouTube, you have to go to Google, and you'll get a lot of information on you. And these organizations that Ms. Ranade talked about, there are a lot of organizations that are dealing in Bitcoins. So you can talk to them, they will explain to you, they have their own presentations. So,
Can I ask a question, Purobi? Can I ask a
please,
question?
Fortune.
Yeah, when we, go to a stock exchange to buy shares and all, you have a lot of KYC and
Hello,
everything
Gurpratap.
to be known about you. Here, when you go to a crypto exchange, is anything required like that, or anybody can transact without any, what do you say, checking
Yes, you
or
can.
anything? So that is
No, I think you require KYC. I saw
No,
that
you don't.
Gemini
No,
screen.
you don't. No, you
Yeah.
don't. No, you don't. You
No?
require certain you have to follow certain regulations which that particular cryptocurrency holds. It is
Mm.
not a regulation of the government.
Mm.
The KYC is a government regulation.
Mhm.
I don't know if they've introduced it now, but it wasn't there at least 6 months ago.
and everything has to be linked to Aadhaar and everything has to be linked to your PAN and things like that. So what kind
I
of
don't know whether they have brought it now because there have
Ah.
been, I haven't studied those regulations. Some regulations have come now. Merlin or Gauri have any recent dictats, but some time back it wasn't there. But it is a volatile market. It is an unknown. Understand that's there. Merlin, will you come on board? I let me thank the people who have joined us from outside. I can see Meera, I can see Shweta, who have joined from beyond Bombay to take part in this. I must tell you people that IFUA, our IFUA members have been very active, and they have, followed our sessions, and they have come and joined and participated in the sessions. Meera had come in the last 2 sessions. Shweta has come this time. So I don't know. I can't see if there are some more out of Bombay. Then please forgive me because I cannot make out. But thank you so much, all of you, for making
Yes,
your time
Purabhi,
now. Yes.
Purabhi, you have been organizing good programs, interesting ones. So it has
Thank
been,
you. Thank
yeah,
you.
pleasure
Thank you,
joining
Meera.
them. Yeah.
Thank you, Meera.
And
One minute. I'll just put Merlin on board. Merlin, if you have
Yes.
any knowledge on bitcoins, please add to what Dr. Mahajan has said. Please
Yeah.
carry on.
First-
Merlin is an advocate. She is a practicing High Court advocate, and she's been in this profession for a long time. She has also, I did read out her profile last time, but let me just recap for all of us again. Her mother has also been with WGU, actually, a very active member. She is also a life member of WGU. She's also with the Indian Merchant Chambers Ladies Wing. She was a district chairperson of Lions Club International, practicing High Court lawyer. So she does a lot of legal activities. So we have very high-profile lawyers in WGU. So better beware. Chalo, Merlin, come.
Good evening, everybody. I thank Purvi for exaggerating in her introduction of mine. And I wish to state that there are even more high-profile lawyers like me with WGU, which includes Purvi. And of course, our President Gauriya, our Vice President Loretta, and so many others. Good evening, one and all. The chairperson, Madam President Gauri, all all other members and office bearers of UVAS and IFWA who are present, and all our members. Good evening to one and all. I just want to put one input here is that, first of all, this is quite a new topic. It is something for the younger generation who share a lot of excitement because it takes them maybe away from studies and into money, in the money world instantly. But I would like to say that recently, in November 21, the government, our Indian government, have proposed. Now let's see how they fix things further, because the government aims to prohibit all type of private cryptocurrencies. So what will they allow, and what they will restrict, where they will put their restrictions, that will come to know only when this bill is passed and the act comes into play. As of now, people are using it, as Dr. Mahajan has said, that this is legal transaction online, but it is not a substitute for money. So as she has said, that is what it is as of now. And if they come out with a specific act in India for this, then we will have to be governed by the act. We will have to have one more session with Dr. Sunita Mahajan for that. And Purvi, shall I also extend the vote of thanks to one and all?
Yes, please.
Merlin, I would like to say one thing. I must thank Purabhi for pushing me into this.
No, I'm very happy that I pushed you, because this was a very good lecture. Thank you so much.
Yes, it is. This is Dr. Sunita Mahajan. This has been a wonderful lecture. And the deep insight that you have given us from the basic foundation of 2009 and how it's relating to the old barter exchange that has evolved over the years. And you brought us so close to the manner in which the digital manner of the working of, I still have forgotten it, blocks and the hash and all that. So it's quite interesting and it's quite knowledgeable. We wish to hear more about it from you in the near future. And maybe our members also can then start investing in this Bitcoins and get faster money. I thank you, Doctor. I thank you, Dr. Sunita, for your lovely insights on this exciting topic. And I thank all the participants for their participation and their lively participation in the question and answer series. Of course, I think we are running short of time, but we would definitely like to hear more on this topic from Dr. Sunita Mahajan on cryptocurrency. I thank the chairperson of the CCAC committee, Ms. Purvi ma'am, for these active sessions. I thank our President Gauri, our Secretary, Vice President Loretta. I also thank the office bearers of ISWA who are present today, the members of other UVAs who are present today, and keep on actively participating in all the programs that Purvi is organizing, because all of it are going to be very interesting. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
Sunita.
Pauline. Thank you so much. And
Sunita,
we
very
will-
well presented lecture. Such topics are needed, and it is one of our objectives that we give and explain information in a simple language so that everybody can understand, and that's what you have done. Very good. Very
Yes,
good.
Sudha. Thank you so much.
Let's all give a big applause to Sunita.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody. Nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to see you, Sudha.
Yeah, yeah.
Bye, everybody,
Okay,
and have a
guys,
lovely year
I
ahead.
think we've come to the end of the day session. We'll keep on having these kind of sessions one after the other. And I am intending to rope in some colleges as well. So let's see how we proceed from here. Thank you so much. I wish you a very, very happy new year. Hope COVID disappears this year.
Thank you, Purvi.
Thank you. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you,
Thank
Purvi.
you.
Bye. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you,
Bye.
Monin.
Bye, bye, bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Gauri. Bye.